is introduce our speaker, Josh Murdoch. Professor Josh is an educator, instructional designer, and a self-described tech nerd, foodie, photographer, sketch artist, and all-around geek. He has been in higher education for over 15 years and teaching for over 9 years. He's an ed tech blogger who's covered tons of local and national tech and educational events. He loves talking about apps, startups, innovation, and food trucks. He has presented at numerous conferences and events on topics ranging from widgets and gadgets to social media and education. He's on the Valencia Foundation Board of Directors, a member of the Social Media Club, mentors at Startup Week Orlando, and sits in the planning team for FL BlogCon, Florida BlogCon, and also on EdCamp Orlando. Now, when we exit here, when you leave the session, and tomorrow you will get an email that has not only a link to this archive, but you also have links to his blog and to his Twitter account. So you'll learn all about him in a follow-up information. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Josh. Josh, are you ready?
I am ready. Can you hear me fine, Steve?
I can hear you well, and I'm turning you over to... You should see, there, show my screen. Perfect.
Yep, should see my screen now. So I'm going to talk today about engaging diverse learning styles, and that's so important. And I'm going to really cover a bunch of tools. And I want to showcase a bunch of tools and give you some ideas, and that's what this is all about. This is one of our favorite ones with our faculty at the college when we do this at a longer webinar covering lots and lots of tools, so they get a good sampling and idea of maybe what they want to try. So don't, walk away with saying, oh, too much to try, too many new things. Pick one or two of these that you want to try and try to incorporate them into your face-to-face class, into your Softchalk, into any of those. As we're going along, if you do, are you on Twitter, or if you want to check out Twitter, at Professor Josh is my name. So if you want to tweet me afterwards or as we're going along with any questions too, that would be great. So I'm going to talk about online tools, and the reason why I'm talking about online tools is because you're looking at web-friendly presentations. That's important. You want to make sure that students can easily access these over the web and also easily access them through a variety of different channels. Self-paced resources, many of these are great for self-paced resources. You walk away with creating something, and students can create a lot of these too using these tools. Self-paced resources to use over and over, and that gets you into that reusable course content. The great thing about reusable course content is that you can share it with others. You can keep using it through your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 classes, whatever you're using it through. And then also we're looking at diverse learning styles. So how do you engage those that are visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners? These will give you some good kind of tips and ideas as we're going through this. Also, a lot of these I'm going to be talking about today are mobile tools. So a lot of these will help you work on the go or in the field, and this goes for students too, creating content. One of the things about a lot of the mobile tools too is usually they're cheaper. So it's usually cheaper to buy an app than software, but also students have mobile devices typically. Most students now, a lot of students are having smart devices, tablets, iPads, iPhones, Android phones, all those kind of different base devices. So some of these will give you some tips on things you can use, or at least you could share if certain students don't have them, then they could kind of share these apps. Or for yourself too, things that you can create kind of on the go, a lot easier using those mobile tools. So the first thing I want to talk about is really about how you can share presentations. And two of the things, sometimes people know about these, sometimes they don't. One of the things is SkyDrive. So if you are a Microsoft school, or if you're not a Microsoft school, SkyDrive you can set up an account to use. And one of the cool features of SkyDrive is actually embedding a presentation. So you can actually embed this presentation, and I'll show it at the end what it looks like in Softchalk, so you get an idea of how this would look. But one of the great things about embedding a presentation using SkyDrive is you embed it, and you can embed it in 5 or 6 other courses, different places, and you can update it in one place, and it replaces that. You don't have to go find that presentation. And it also keeps some of the animations, and they can download it if you give that option to download those. So you get a lot of options with the SkyDrive and being able to embed that in. Another one of my favorites is SlideShare. If you haven't checked out slideshare.net, I definitely would recommend checking it out. One thing I'll recommend, it's free to check out. It's free to post on. When you do that with a free account, it does become public, so you're sharing your things publicly to everyone. The cool thing about it is you can also search for presentations. So if you're looking for a certain presentation, if you're looking for some inspiration or ideas too, this is a great place to find them. It's a great place to share them, say after a conference or something like that. We will send you a link to my SlideShare after this is over too, so you get to see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and bring up SlideShare so you get a chance to check this out. But basically, this is my SlideShare, and I've uploaded the presentation here. You can see several presentations I've uploaded. Easy to click, but the great thing about it is it also has an embed code. So you can embed it right in the Softchalk by taking that embed code and copying it. So you have a lot of options there with that. Also, like I said, you could search. So you can search for about anything in here. And you can see that a lot of people check out the content and go through things. It's amazing how many people, are checking out, searching for things on SlideShare and stumble across your presentation or something. So it's great for after a conference if you want, to post something there or in a class. And you can also update them. And that's the great thing I like about SlideShare. If I add a new slide, and I do this all the time with multimedia tools, right? Add a new slide or a tool goes away or something changes, I can easily go in there and actually edit that slide and re-upload a new one. So it's really good for those kind of instances, or you realize you made a mistake or a link changes or your email changes or something like that, you can actually update those. So it has a lot of good uses in here. So embed into your presentation. So another one I want to talk about is going to be, one of the things I'm going to talk about here is going to be iSpring. So iSpring is another one of those, and I see we're kind of buffering a little bit, so I'll wait till it catches up. iSpring is one of those solutions. They have some paid solutions, so it's not totally free. There is a free one to convert your PowerPoints from PowerPoints to Flash files. They do have some paid ones to convert them to HTML5 or add in audio, but the basic free one I just want to kind of showcase because it does help you convert PowerPoint. If your students don't have access to PowerPoint, also reduces that file size up to 97%. It keeps in the animations, the triggers, the styles, the audio. All those things can actually stay in that PowerPoint using iSpring. It is free, and I give you the link at the bottom. So when this presentation goes out, I give you the link to it. It actually will help you go right to it because it's kind of hard to find the free just converter. I wanted to showcase and have that out for you. You can also add in YouTube videos. That's a great thing about SlideShare also. You can add in YouTube videos on several of my presentations. I've added recordings that I've saved on YouTube of the presentation right in with those files too. So it's a great feature on both the SlideShare and also iSpring. You can add in YouTube videos. iSpring also has it built right into PowerPoint to be able to convert it, choose if it goes automatically through. The great thing about it, like I said, it keeps its animations. For PDF, you save it as PDF, wouldn't do that. The next tool is one of my favorite tools. It's called Animoto. And what Animoto does is makes it really easy to change various photos, images, small short video clips, text, music, all into one kind of unique slideshow. So it makes it really quick, really easy to use. It does come free for a 30-second clip. You say, well, that's not very long. What am I going to do with a 30-second clip? Well, as being an educator, one great thing you want to check out always on any of these sites is that educators have a lot of times a free or upgrade or a cheaper price, something like that. So Animoto.com/education actually lets you sign up for a plan, and then you get you prove that you're an educator, and what they'll do is upgrade your plan to a plus version. And what they'll do is give you full-length videos. They'll also give you other things. They'll give you the option to go ahead and use different templates and things like that. It is easy to share these and easy to upload to YouTube, so I do that a lot of times. I upload mine to YouTube. Great for showcasing images, really cool effects. You can actually do it from your iPad, iPhone, or Android. There is an app available too. And I'm going to go ahead and show you a sampling of it. So let me bring that up. Just take a minute here. And since we live in Orlando here at Valencia, I'm going to showcase the one I did for Disney, just a short thing, a preview of the Sorcerers of Magic Kingdom. But this one will showcase, will actually showcase the photos, images, video, text, all those in one. I'm going to go ahead and make sure the sound's down on this, and you should be able to hear this. It will have some lag to it, though. I wanted to showcase some of the features that's inside of this app, and it showed the video, it showed some of the different things going on. So I really wanted to showcase what's happening with this, and then I wanted to show you how easy it is to create really quickly. I'm not going to go through how to create, but you can choose various different backgrounds and themes. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. It's a new addition. They're always adding new themes and new things to it. But really what you're doing is you're going to go add the style. You can choose from a variety of music they have, like Creative Commons music they have licenses to. You can also add pictures, and as you notice here, you can add pictures from a variety of different resources. So you can upload your own photos or videos. You can connect with Facebook, Instagram, Dropbox, Flickr, PhotoBucket, all kinds of different things. So it's really easy. Then what it becomes is drag and drop. Move things around, you can add text, you can spotlight things. It really doesn't take very much to do these, to make those animations all in one. So it's a really amazing tool to use and really easy. And the great thing about signing up for the educator account also, I'll let you know that it also gives you the ability to get some codes for your students too, so they can upgrade their accounts too. So it's a really neat option. So the next one I want to talk about is Xtranormal. I'm going to actually let this video play so you see what Xtranormal is all about first. As I said, a lot of the videos have lag, of course, because we're playing over each other. So
Media tools for online courses. I'm Josh, an instructional designer at Valencia.
Hello, I'm Gary, the Learning Technology Center Manager at UCOA. We are here to help you learn about a few new tools to enhance your online and face-to-face courses.
We will showcase various tools that are free, low cost, or available at the college for you to try. You know you want to try them all.
Let's start off by making some delicious video content. Doesn't that sound tasty?
Wait. I have a joke to tell first. Why did the robot go back to robot school?
I don't know. Tell me, Josh.
Because his skills were getting a little rusty. Ha 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 ha.
Oh man. Let's get back to the course now. I'm sure they want to learn about all the tools available to them.
So that is Xtranormal. I wanted to highlight Xtranormal for you. It does have some great features. Xtranormal, really what it's doing is taking text to speech. It's not free. It's not a free solution, but you do have a couple options. So you saw the two characters I was using. They're both robots. I purchased those characters, and I get to keep using them. I can tell you now, I spent like $25 to get a bunch of points, and I keep using them. What I do is buy a certain number of characters. There's hundreds of characters to choose from on their site. That's one of the cool things about it, is really they have tons of different characters to choose from. Everything from, as you see here, superheroes, robots, people with suits, stick figures, historical figures, all kinds of different things to choose from, and then you can choose one or two actors. And what the hardest part is really creating a script. So once you create that script, you get to choose some movements, you get to choose some of the different things that they're going to be doing. You can choose the camera angles, so it gives you lots and lots of different choices as you're going through this. So there is an educational monthly plan, so if you plan on doing a lot of different things, want to use a lot of different characters, publish a lot, I definitely might recommend doing that $10 version. The cool thing about these too is after you're done publishing them, you can also publish them to YouTube. So then they're available on YouTube, and you don't even have to be on that site. You could just send them directly to your YouTube video if you want. So Xtranormal has a variety of different sounds you can add in, all kinds of neat things. And like I said, the hardest thing about Xtranormal is really creating those. So each video you have to select kind of a scene, an area. So you pay for the scene too. You might pay for the background. You can keep reusing it. Once you buy that, you get to keep it. You keep getting to reuse it. So you might want to buy the robots that you want, the scene you want, or the stick figure, or the people, those kind of things. You can't switch. So I can't switch from superheroes to robots. So that's something to keep in mind, is kind of having that out there. It's great for humor content, things you don't want to be on video about. It's kind of neat to have situations. If you search for it on YouTube, you'll find situations where students are asking about their grade and a professor responding to that student. So I have a lot of different options there. So that is Xtranormal. Another one I like to use is called Voki. And Voki is, what it does is create an avatar online that you can post anywhere. So you can embed this easily, again, into your Softchalk course. You can use it by text-to-speech, kind of like Xtranormal, but also I like it because you can upload audio files for voice recordings. You can upload audio files so you can record it with a really nice mic, have it done, go over it a couple times, and finally have that one you really want to use, and upload it to the character. It is free for basic characters, and scenes up to 30 seconds in length. So far, I've just used the free version of it to really showcase what it does, and played with in some of the courses for scenarios type courses where they're talking about what's going on, what's happening. But you can do a Voki classroom for only $30 a year. Gives you additional kind of scenes, background, character choices, the ability to have a little longer in length. I believe it extends some past that, and also you can leave feedback for students, and students don't have to register. They can actually create their own characters too. So one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring one up for you, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm going to actually bring up the one we see here on the screen. Go ahead and make sure the volume's down a little bit on this character, and I'm going to go ahead and let them talk.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm an older student, still parent of 2 elementary-age children. After high school, I wanted to take a year off to work before going to college. However, I got caught up in my job, receiving several promotions and raises. So before I knew it, 15 years had passed. But now, the economy has forced layoffs, and I lost my job. I'm returning to school to pursue my longtime dream of becoming a nurse. I made an appointment to talk to you because I'm having trouble keeping up with assignments.
So that's just an example of a scenario that we actually use in a course for faculty development on an advising situation. So we had someone record, we added it to a person, and this is the situation they're in, and then faculty respond in discussion. So the same thing could go with a Softchalk too. You could enter it in, have them talk about it, and then you could actually add an essay or something where they're responding back and providing content in it. So it's great that you can have that. So it's really easy to do, really simple to go ahead and do this. With Voki, like I said, you have some quick options, and I'll go ahead and go to Voki so you can see what it looks like. But this is their site. You can create Vokis. Like I said, you can choose a variety of characters. It just brings up a character randomly. I think last time I brought up a sumo wrestler. So you can really choose a different variety of characters, what they look like, clothing, the background, eyes, makeup, skin, tones, that type of thing. Like I said, you can call actually by phone and do it. You can type in text-to-speech. You could do your voice recording, or you can upload a file if you recorded something on your own. I'll actually talk about a software that you could use to help edit and recording in a little bit. So this will give you some options, though. So one of the ones that amazes people is YouTube, of course. But one of the things about a lot of people that don't realize with YouTube is the ability to edit videos and some of the options you have with editing videos. You have a lot of different things where you can combine multiple videos that you uploaded to a new longer video. So if you need to combine certain videos together to play them all together, if you need to trim the beginning or end of a video, you can add a soundtrack from their Creative Commons audio library swap, so you can easily do that. And you also can create brand new videos without having to worry about the ones you've already published. So you have a lot of different options with YouTube. So I'm going to actually bring up a YouTube account here and show you some of those different features. So this editor has a lot of different features for you to try. And this is just an example of one of my accounts, the Professor Josh account, the Professor Josh all-in-one. And you can see that I can splice together different videos here. I could cut the videos. I have some effects I can add. I can do text. I can add in music. I can do a variety of different things all in here. Really neat to be able to find also Creative Commons, so I can find Creative Commons videos that I could splice in there that I might want to use. You could search into there. You can add photos, audio. You can do the transitions, how it switches between the videos. A lot of people don't know all these options are available actually just inside YouTube, so it's a great tool. Another thing I always like to point out too is with videos, if you go and edit in your own videos, you have some options also inside this to do some enhancements, so you can change kind of the style, the look of a video you want. You can go slow motion, things like that. So it has a lot of different options there. With the audio, you could add in other audio, and also annotations. And I like to highlight annotations because these are really cool. Is you could have a video, and especially an instructional video, where you add an annotation in, say a speech bubble, and you have it link to the next part in the video, somewhere else in this video. So you could say, if you already know about factors, skip ahead to this part of the video. If you already know about something, you can go ahead and skip ahead. So it has a lot of different things already in there. Also, if you didn't know, you could add your own closed captioning already in the videos. If, for those options, you can click Add Captions and go ahead and do that too. So those are some of the options with YouTube. I like to highlight those because a lot of people don't know there's so much that's already in there. So speaking of YouTube videos, sometimes you have a YouTube video that's 20, 30 minutes long that you find on there. Sometimes they're just 5 or 10 minutes long, but you just want a minute of it to show your class or students or really bring out a certain point. So one of the options you could use is what is called Tubeshot. And I'll go ahead and bring up a Tubeshot so you can see what it looks like. So this is the Tubeshot. In Tubeshot, as you see here, you see chop details, and one of the things you can do is trim the length. So I started at a certain point on here. I wanted to trim about only a minute of the 4-minute video, but it does give you the option to go back to the original video, and you can embed it. So you still have this embed code here. You can just click on that. You can take the embed code, put it in so you can easily watch that or just link to it. So the great thing about it, if you just want to show a minute of a video, this is the easiest way to do it. It's Tubeshot. So you just paste in or type in that YouTube URL, and then you can get that video. What it does is just plays that certain portion, start-end portion of that video. Another one, sometimes you want to remove the distractions. YouTube does have a lot of distractions within it. So QuietTube is one of those where you can actually, what it does is really create a clear frame with nothing but the video in it. So it's kind of like embedding the video in there, but this link just brings them to this only. It's only this video. You can choose a black background or a white background. But if you need a link to a video, this is one way you could just do a link to the video and keep it as is without all those extra comments on YouTube, ads, things like that. So that is QuietTube. Now I get to one of my favorites. So I wanted to talk about one of my favorites. It's called Drag on Tape. A lot of people haven't heard of this tool, and this is a pretty awesome tool to use. What it does is take Tubeshot, the idea of Tubeshot being able to chop videos and cut them up, but be able to match them together to make like a mixtape of videos. So it's really neat because you can mix together several different videos. So I'm actually going to go to an example I found here and show you what this looks like on screen so you get a real idea of what it looks like. So this is Drag on Tape. It's really easy to use. You drag, you place, you choose, but this is an example of someone that already created one. I could actually start mixing this one if I wanted to reuse this and kind of change it up and add other things to it. You can grab the embed code. I'm just going to go ahead and click play, but I'm going to pause it. I wanted to show you what this looks like here. This is a U.S. history and educational video linking to certain different videos, and I might clip only certain parts of these videos to really highlight. So instead of being really long video, it's only a short length of different clips, and they're played in succession. You can also click around and go through them. But the really neat thing is if you take this clipboard or you created your own, you give someone that link, you can always add other additional videos to it later on. So you can keep kind of adding to your mixtape later on. So it has some really neat features that you're just taking YouTube videos and splicing them together and chopping them up and being able to share them. So it gives you some of those different options here. And it's really easy to use, and it's free. And this one I like to highlight. I highlighted in some of the different ones. You'll see this little phone here in the hand. That means it's mobile. They have a mobile app for Drag on Tape, so that's another option for you too. Easily do on the mobile phone. And also beyond just going on the idea of that mixtape feature, YouTube, you can also mix together sound clouds, so sound items, not just YouTube videos. So it gives you some different options there. Hopefully it's giving you a lot of different ideas and things to use and embed into your courses. So now I like to highlight some of the things that you can actually use to help you a little bit with editing pictures. So a lot of times you want to edit photos, you want to put things in so you can use them, say, in your Softchalk or into a course, and you need to edit that photo, and you don't have Photoshop. Your school didn't buy it, you don't have access to it. These are some free resources, and a lot of them are great. 2 of them have actually mobile apps. So Pizzazz, this one at the bottom here is great. It's almost like Photoshop. It has layers to it, has a bunch of different options. I'll bring up a copy of that one to show you what this looks like. It has some really neat things. Aviary is an app, a mobile app too, free web editor, so it's really easy to edit photos, give them different looks, features in it, things like that. You need to add text to them, all those kind of things right in there, so it has some good options. And then iPixie is another photo editor. It has kind of that style, almost like a Photoshop type app. So this is Pizzazz, the first one I showed you. As you can see, you can create a new image. You can open an image from a computer. You can find an image from a web. You can find something maybe from a library or from the mobile app if you used it. I'm just going to go ahead and create new image. As you can see, you can set up preset sizes, grab things. So if you wanted to grab a banner, make your own banner for a course, that's something that you want to put at the top of your course, you could do that in here. Has different layers, so I could keep adding new layers. So I can turn on and off layers. It's kind of nice to be able to edit with layers, similar to Photoshop. And it has all the different kind of options here on the left-hand side. You'll see a lot of the options similar to Photoshop too. You have filters. You have all kinds of different things like that to do with images too. So you have lots and lots of choices, and it's free and it's online. It's web-based and mobile-based. So I like to point out those kind of free apps. So the next one I wanted to go to is called Clipping Magic. This is a new one found. This one's pretty amazing. So as you see, I won't go into too much detail on this, but it easily removes the background from images online. So you drag and drop your image in or upload your image to it, and then you're able to see the effects. You add the red lines where you want to remove, the green lines what you want to keep, and then as you see it removes that background. It saves it as a PNG for you. So it has that transparent background here. I'll show you what that looks like in a course, but Clipping Magic, it's right now free. It doesn't have a cost to it. It's web-based. I'm sure eventually it's startup, so eventually they might change, but right now it's a great thing to try and really, really easy to use. I just want to put these as resources out there for you. When you're looking for images, if you're looking for Creative Commons images, these are a couple of great ones. Of course, Flickr has a lot of copyright-friendly and Creative Commons ones. Morgfile.com. Photopedia has some really neat stuff. Photopedia is kind of a whole different thing where it has apps too. You can kind of explore different places, get information and facts about. So it's really neat in that sense. And then Picks for Learning. So these are just some examples that I just wanted you to be able to go back to and check out later on. Similar, looking for audio files. So a lot of them, you're looking for different kind of audio files, Creative Commons audio files that you can use as an intro for your podcast maybe. Maybe you want to use it for a intro to a video, sound effects in a video, creating some kind of audio loop, finding music, things like that. These are a variety of different resources that you could use and find things on that have a lot of those on there for you. And as I said, all these will be able to link to off the presentation that you'll get at the, afterwards. So I think, as you said, tomorrow you'll be able to get a link. It'll link to my SlideShare with all these presentations info. Also send it on my Twitter. So if you're following me on Twitter or following me on Facebook, Professor Josh, on both of those, you'd be able to get these too. Another great one, and this one has been around for a while, is Audacity. This one has been around, and it's great for creating things like podcasting. So if you want to create a podcast about class news, current events, areas of interest, it's really easy to do these audio podcasts, have multiple layers, be able to edit things with them right inside. And it gives you multiple different layers of sound. So you can actually choose what going out, what kind of music you want to put on. You can use it for foreign languages. So you could teach, a teacher could use it or a student can use it to record and listen to what they're saying or send it to a teacher, a file, an audio. It is a downloadable software, but it is free. It's been around for a while. It's pretty easy to use. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. So this is a basic view of it. Like I said, you could have different tracks, so you can keep adding tracks on. It's pretty simple to use most of the features in it. Takes a little bit of a learning curve, but it is one of those that are free audio sources. There's not a lot. They're out there for different web ones and things like that. There's been some that's been around and they go away. This one has been around for a long time, so it's definitely one that's great to check out. I wanted to talk a little bit about screencasting and screencasting tools, because really screencasting lets you easily show what's going on your computer, add something back about it. So demonstrating how to do a certain task. I do this all the time as an instructional designer helping faculty. I record, how to do something, show them how to walk through a certain step, integrating something to the Blackboard or figuring out what's going on, demonstrating to my students also, if I demonstrate how to do something or how to walk through a scenario or showcase the app to them, I can use the screencasting tool. You can also use it for kind of the video lecture idea, the narration. Imagine just screencasting what we're talking about right now. So going through this, talking about it, and screencasting what's happening as we're doing it. And also you can provide students with visual and narrated feedback on assignments. So that's another idea, is imagine taking the screencasting tool and walking through a student's presentation they sent you or a paper they sent you and giving them auditory feedback. So, and visual feedback, writing it up, marking it up, those type of things. So I wanted to give you two different options, and three different options actually, but two by TechSmith first. Jing, as you see to the right here, is the free one. So Jing is the limited to 5-minute video length. There's no editing capabilities built into Jing. It can also be used as a screenshot tool with markups for images, some basic things. It is free though. It's 5 minutes. Great for quick videos, great for quick tutorials, walkthroughs. Maybe it's showing a student how to log into a new software or something like that. You can easily do with this. And I provided a link to that, but the TechSmith site. So TechSmith also has the more expensive version, Camtasia Studio. Camtasia comes with a lot of different bells and whistles. And unlimited course recording time, depending on how large a file you want to save. You can always upload them to YouTube, things like that. You can also have a timeline editor with several different kind of auditory call-outs. I like the zoom and pan feature. That's one of my favorite features. You can add captions into it, things like that. So Camtasia gives you a lot of editing capabilities. I do a lot of my videos on the Professor Josh YouTube site with Camtasia. It's easy to edit, easy to add. I do a lot of our tutorials for our Blackboard that we send out in Camtasia also. It does have a PowerPoint add-in, so you can record presentations and walk through the presentation and just click right in there. It's kind of built into there. But you can also screencast what's going on. And also you can record a webcam and several other different audio sources. So I do like that about Camtasia also. You also, with the PC version, you can add in quiz questions and score them capabilities. So you can actually add those and say, put it in your Blackboard, and people could answer quiz questions along the way in those videos. So that wouldn't be a YouTube video. That would be a video you need to save actually to your hard drive and then into your course. But this could give you some options with that. I did link to the educational site for the pricing on it. It's always kind of changing. There's a Mac version of it, so the Mac version is always a little cheaper. It doesn't have all the features, but it has a lot of them. I think it has most of the ones that most people would use. I did also link to an example, so I just wanted to bring up this example. Kind of mute this for you, but as we go through this, you'll see I did this video inside Camtasia. Was able to add in, edit things, throw in photos, throw in pictures, but some of the features that recording, I just screencasted what's going on my screen, and then I'm able to zoom in to it later on and zoom back out and change those. Really easy, seamlessly kind of things, and have various call-outs and things like that. So as I go along here, you'll probably see some of these different features happening. So you'll be able to see zoom in, you'll see the call out here. I can zoom back out if I need to. I can change what I want to call out to. Really easy to use and really pretty easy to learn. So I definitely recommend it if you do a lot of video. It's one of those things definitely to check out. So if you're looking for a screen recording software on the go, one of the things I want to highlight is Screenare. So Screenare is one of those web-based screen recording. Very similar to Jing, but it's web-based. Jing you have to install. This is, you can create screencast on the fly. 5 minutes in length, shareable and reusable, so you can embed into your Softchalk, into Blackboard, into you can get a URL, you can share it, you can download it as an MP4, you can publish it to YouTube. So a lot of different choices with Screenare. Basically, I just want to kind of show you what they look like. As you see, I'm just recording like a copy of the presentation. If I walk through, I can resize it and go ahead and start the recording, and you'd be able to capture, see what the capture size is and that type of thing, and walk through and just basic thing, no edits, just quickly capturing something on the screen. So a lot of great things.
Josh,
so
we are sort of
yes.
running close to out of time, and I think you're going to show how some of this looks in a Softchalk lecture.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go through just these real quick. These are some other ones to check out. Screenshot is definitely an iPad ad to check out. Gives you the ability to record right on your iPad, walk through kind of like a tutorial with sketches. But the one I really like too is Edge Creations, because it gives you a lot of different options to bring in multiple images. On this too, I linked to an example of it. So you have a variety of different ones to go into, and multiple color markers, easy to share, easy to change. You can set up a tutorial. So it's a really cool iPad app, definitely to check out if you're looking for like screencasting on the go kind of thing. Your basic screenshot tools, a lot of them already talked about. And then I also like to highlight this site that's kind of neat to check out. It's go2web20.net. And they have a ton of different things that you can just check out, see what's new. Things are always changing. Things go away. Things change to free to paid. They change what they are. A lot of these are startups. You know, they'll go away. Someone else will buy them. Things will change. So you've got a lot of different options there. So I wanted to talk about Softchalk, and I wanted to show you what these might look like in Softchalk here. So I'm going to actually go bring up, I created just a quick Softchalk with some of these actually embedded into them that we highlighted here earlier. So as you see with this one, I went ahead and just highlighted this as the slide share. So I added the slide share in, I embedded it. Then I decided to throw a quiz at the bottom, mark what ones are correct. So it's right in there, easy to embed, so you have your presentation right in there or the one you're linking to. Similar here is the SkyDrive, and it seems like it's not coming up. Let me give it a second. SkyDrive for some reason not coming up, but that one you can embed, and I always suggest linking to it too. Animoto, here's the video that I showed earlier. Imagine having a self-check quiz or something underneath, easily showing that video, the Animoto you created right in there. Xtranormal too, so having the Xtranormal, maybe it's someone talking, adding those features in there, showcasing those. Easily to embed, just copy the embed code, place it into the HTML. Voki too. So we had that Voki earlier I was talking about. We've embedded into a course before. And then you could ask, like this is an essay question, how would you advise this student? It could be saved to there as they're going through that with the Sports Center. Drag on tape, very similar. They could watch the video here and complete a task at the bottom, whatever you're going to have them choose. And then I just wanted to showcase, this is how clipping magic, I clip that image here. It kind of makes it look a lot cleaner instead of the background in it. You can do this with any kind of image, so imagine clipping any kind of image here and adding the rollover with Softchalk, talking about what it is. So you have a lot of different options, and I just wanted to highlight some of them and how easy they are to embed into a Softchalk, so you have those ideas on that. And I wanted to give you all of my contact information. If you're looking to contact me, here's a lot of my information. Of course, I mentioned Twitter before, at Professor Josh, Facebook, facebook.com, Professor Josh, YouTube, the Professor Josh. You need to email me at questions at the college. Also provide a link to several of our learning technology services. The department I work for with instructional designers, we have video productions, we have classroom technology. We talk about a lot of these things in our blog and new things and changing things. Just like in my blog too, my personal blog, professorjosh.com, I cover a lot of these options. Steve, did we have any questions we kind of wanted maybe to cover? No, we answered a lot of them, I saw.
Right, we got a lot of questions as they went through, and the folks who work with you have answered most of them, and I'm done trying to think whether there's something that we want to make sure that most others, because we answer them, most of them privately. There's a lot of questions about interchanging characters from Xtranormal and what the cost of that is. A lot of detailed questions and some questions about accessibility. And I think maybe that's something you could talk about, because looking, for instance, it creates a flash. So it's really not inherently accessible. But before we get to that, let me remind everybody that a lot of this information, everything is being recorded. And tomorrow you'll get an email with information about Josh's Twitter account and his email account, etc. So you'll have access to this slideshow as well as to personal information about how to get hold of him and get more information and redo it. So hopefully you weren't taking too many rapid notes, because this will be available to you both as an archive and the individual slideshow, so you can flip through it and get the information you need. Now, I want to talk about accessibility and some of the tools that you showed us.
Yeah, when you're talking about accessibility, especially anything you upload to YouTube, you can always add an closed caption to it. One of the things I will say with Xtranormal, because it's going from speech, text to speech, the great thing about it with that beta closed caption option in YouTube, it's almost exact on, because it's already going from text to speech kind of sense. It's pretty clear on how it's reading. It and bringing it in, I'd say that works really well. And with things like Voki, I would suggest adding a script. The great thing about it is probably you want to create a script anyways for your Voki character. If you're having other people read it or record it for you, if you want to add different characters in and different people without having a video of that person, but just want their voice behind a character, you're already creating a script. So I definitely would recommend uploading that script and having it available. Those are the things you have to remember when you're thinking about accessibility, is having that script available, the closed captioning, the work you want to put into it, especially videos like that or those kind of options.
Yeah. Right. Somebody's asking is, how do you embed this in Softchalk? And all I can say is that it's easy to do. There's a pull-down menu that says embed. You put the embed code in as you're done. So I don't want to go through a lot of questions about Softchalk. But there's a couple coming up. Is Softchalk accessible? It's accessible as far as the content you put in it. I mean, Softchalk is made to be accessible, and if the content you put into it, as Josh has just talked about, is accessible, then the content that Softchalk creates accessible. And as you embed outside material, it depends on how accessible that material is. But Softchalk has spent a lot of attention to making the content they create accessible. You want to add anything to that?
I think the same. You just have to remember when you're putting in content too, especially content that you want to make sure that you're already adding those all your images and things like that while you're creating the course instead of having to go back and redo it. So if you're creating some content in Softchalk and you're adding, say, the picture, if you wanted to take an alt tag for that picture, you probably want to do that while you're creating your Softchalk, not have to go back and do it afterwards. To all your images and things like that. So, and then adding those scripts in, linking to a PDF or linking to a file, having those available. Of course, with a lot of the things like even SlideShare, and we talked about the SkyDrive and embedding PowerPoint. Everything is that you can download those, and then a screen reader can actually easily read those, things like that, because they have text. SlideShare, depending on how they're set up, if you add in notes and things like that, they can actually download and have the notes and information available in the SlideShare also to be text. So it just really depends on how you have them set up in advance too. So it's something to think about when you're creating content.
A lot of questions. I don't even know where to begin. Somebody said, why would I use Softchalk instead of using a Word document that students can save and view later? That's a long conversation. Softchalk this kind of things that Josh showed you in terms of the lessons he created, how he embedded material, how he put questions afterwards. You can't do that in Word. So you really need to sit in and look at some of our additional information about Softchalk I'll talk to you about in a minute. People want to know, well, I should remind them, and maybe you mentioned that you often do this session expanded to a 4-hour presentation for the faculty at Valencia College, so there's a lot of material pushed into a very short period of time, which is why we are making this material available to you as an archive and as well as a slideshow. I think because of time frame, I'm going make myself the presenter and move forward, because I want to just follow up. There are several questions at the very end about using Softchalk, and the last one is easier to use than PowerPoint, and more versatile. Your PowerPoint's really not a good interactive learning tool. That's what Softchalk is made for. And I should comment that these are all the resources to learn more about Softchalk. You have our 30-day free trial. Go to Softchalk Cloud, and you can just use it to your heart's content. We have webinars, Introduction to Softchalk Cloud, our Innovator in Online Learning, and I just had a new one up today about student retention and how various tools are used and how Softchalk content is used there. We can set up a private demonstration. If you have folks at your organization and want to see it, we can set that up. We have a really nice training site with video tutorials, short courses, and lesson tutorials on all the topics you'd like that you'd be interested in. Just visit our website to find that out. And of course, follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, or like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as well. And as I promised, this is access, this is information about us. So if you want information about Josh Murdoch, that's his email and his website. This will be sent to you in an email tomorrow, so don't have to worry about that. If you want more information about Softchalk, there's some various email addresses and websites for you to get additional information from us. There'll be an exit survey, and if you want more information about Softchalk, just check that in the list. If you want more information about the work Josh is doing, just check that. And there will be a lot of ways to get information back to you. What I want to do now is